I salute the vision and mission of Mercy Ships and ask that you join me in supporting their noble work and contribute to make this world a better place. I thank you.
In South Africa, it is estimated that over 400,000 people are blind, 240,000 of them due to the development of cataracts, a clouding of the eye lens which leaves them blind and often helpless.
Mercy Ships, because we try to follow the model of Jesus, we have a program where the blind can see. We have a program that is very similar to the leper being cleansed, because in many of the communities in which we work, sometimes when people have huge tumors, they have the kinds of illnesses that we deal with, they are pretty much ostracized in their communities. And so by bringing healing to them through our programs, we bring them to a place where they are welcomed back into the community, and it is sort of like the leper being cleansed.
Blindness not only affects the patient, but often strips the younger generation of an education, as children are often forced to care for the elderly while parents are at work. Mercy Ships has been partnering with local government hospitals in the underprivileged communities within the Eastern Cape. Some of these hospitals are situated in the cities and surrounding townships, while others are located out in the isolated rural countryside. Due to poverty, many patients are forced to wait for months or even years before receiving efficient medical care. This is not only due to limited funding, but also to the slow workflow processes within these hospitals.
I'm so pleased that the Eastern Cape Province has opened its doors to us to help them assess the opportunities that they have to address unnecessary blindness in the Eastern Province. Part of my job in working with them is to train surgeons, to help the operating room staff to see what are the real possibilities that they have for doing cataract surgery in much more numbers than they ever thought they could.
Numerous local ophthalmologist surgeons are taught the unique methods that are performed daily on the Mercy Ship. These methods equip them to turn around a much higher volume of cataract patients per day. A standard of excellence ensures successful results.
Our original intention was to train surgeons only in high-volume cataract procedures. It's become clear that not only the surgeons need to be trained, but the processes need to be changed in the hospitals and the mindset of those working amongst the eye care patients. We want to bring sustainability to the region, and so the training programs that we are embarking on for our surgeons and for our hospitals is to ensure that a sustainable model can be achieved over a long period of time.
Each patient has to be systematically and thoroughly diagnosed before receiving the correct treatment. This is a time-consuming process, which, if delayed, often leads to unnecessary blindness. Mercy Ship staff are eager to help speed up this screening process.
But our role is to identify the blind and move them through the process so that they can have surgery in an efficient manner and then be taken care of post-operatively. As far as identifying the blind goes, the screening team, that's the main responsibility they have. And we have a three-step process that the screening team uses to identify the blind. It involves using a bright light to determine that there is a dense cataract in both eyes. And we check the pupils to make sure they're functioning. That tells us there's no underlying disease problem that may be causing the blindness. And then we just look at the front of the eye to make sure the cornea is clear, that there isn't some anterior problem causing the blindness rather than cataract.
Part of this assessment has been seeing some of the progress that's already been made here, but they haven't quite solved the problems that come with trying to increase their volume, increase the number of people that they take care of. So that presented them with some new challenges.
As a volunteer of Mercy Ships, I am here to help decrease the level of blindness, of cataract blindness in this area, and we are doing that by increasing the efficiency of their process. We have a very efficient process at Mercy Ships, and we are trying to pass along our skills to them, hoping that we will be able to decrease the backlog in this area.
The spiritual and emotional needs of the patient are not forgotten, as a willing team is there to comfort and support people in their time of need.
Essentially what we are doing is to work alongside with the medical team to provide a more spiritual dimension to the work that we do. So we have people who are pastors, some who may not be pastors but are spiritually mature people who pray with the patients, who encourage the patients, who talk to the patients about the love of God and specifically emphasize Jesus, because in Mercy Ships, Jesus is the central figure around which all of our work revolves, whether it is medical or it is verbal. Everything that we do revolves around Jesus. We are trying to follow his example and we are motivated by his person.
Mercy Ships South Africa has been involved in developing opportunities for the medical community in South Africa to see and address these problems. For the past several years, they've had the opportunity to work with surgeons, sending them to the Mercy Ship Africa Mercy, where they've already received significant amount of training. Several of those surgeons right now are key surgeons in the Eastern Province, already starting to address this problem in ways they haven't ever done before. And the procedure that I'm training the surgeons to do, a new technique that is going global to address the problem of unnecessary blindness in nations around the world.
Mercy Ships in South Africa have been partnering with the Fred Hollows Foundation and also the Eastern Cape government to bring hope and healing to the forgotten poor of this area. And we're just so grateful to the funders and to the people who have supported us to make this possible. The final outcome of what we are wanting to accomplish here is a sustainable transfer of the skills that are much needed in this province to move the cataract program forward and to accelerate the numbers of procedures that are performed.
During 2010, Mercy Ships exceeded their goals by training 74 governmental health workers to be more efficient in the patient flow process. 13 surgeons were trained in high-volume surgery. Almost 3,000 patients were successfully screened. Almost 1,200 reading glasses were distributed. Over 700 cataract surgeries were performed. Mercy Ships would like to thank those who have contributed in making this possible and would like to invite others to help us to continue to increase the opportunities to train and bring change in the Eastern Cape so that more people will be given back the gift of sight and children will be given back the precious gift to be children again and go back to school.
Nawe, Kosi Ama.